Hello and welcome to the first ever exclusive Boxing Opinions interview on our YouTube channel. I'm Jack Price. You can follow me on Twitter at PriceyJ97 or our website's Twitter where we actually talk about boxing at BoxingOpinions1. All the other links can be found in the description of this video or the description on our channel. And yeah, basically like I was saying, this is our first ever recorded interview. We have done interviews before, I'm sure you've seen some on our site. But they've just been articles. I've emailed the guys the questions, they've emailed me back, I've typed it up and put it on our site. Now that's good, that's fun, but now we want to actually get talking to the guys, and I set this YouTube channel up a couple of days ago. I only got one video on it so far. Just quickly, you can check out my other YouTube channel with a lot of videos on. It's called Pricey's Boxing Thoughts. It's where I do prediction videos and post-fight reports. But on this channel, I want it to be just basically for our site. Footage of events, fights, weigh-ins, etc., press conferences, and interviews with as many guys as possible. So we got started. We interviewed a man, a heavyweight, British heavyweight named Paul Butlin. Now this guy, when it comes to fighting the best, he sums up what boxing's all about. He's fought Derek Chisora, Edmund Gerber, Jonathan Banks, Larry Olubamiwo, a lot of top heavyweights you can think of. And he's a good guy. He's great to talk to. He knows his boxing. You can actually follow him on Twitter at Paul_Butlin. I'm sure he'll be happy to talk to you about himself, his career, the current British heavyweight scene, and that's basically what we've talked about in the interview. His career, what he wants to do after boxing, and obviously the British heavyweight division itself, because when it comes to fighting British heavyweights and knowing what they're about, this guy knows the most because he has fought a lot of them, shared the ring with a lot of them, and analysed a lot of them. So instead of just watching me babbling on, we'll switch over to the interview now, and yeah, just listen to it and enjoy it. Thanks. And yeah, like I said, just quickly, this is my first recorded interview, so if there are any issues, technical issues, or you think I could ask things better, talk about things better, want to ask different questions, do let me know, comment below, and just let me know how I can improve, because obviously I am always looking to improve. I'm only young, I want to get bigger and better with age, and yeah, so anything you think you can point out to help me improve, please do let me know. Enjoy the interview. Gary Cornish on June the 5th. Any news on where it's taking place yet, and what are your thoughts on Gary Cornish as a fighter, basically?
All I've been told basically is it's in Inverness at the moment. It was July the 15th, I think they put it back to July the 5th. That's all I know. Gary Cornish, looked at his videos obviously online. I take it with a pinch of salt because a fight is different on the night every time.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm not going to slag him off, he's a good fighter. But I think I'm too strong over 10 rounds.
Okay.
But that's the way my cardio sits really. I just get stronger and stronger and stronger. So the boy's got a hell of a fight on his hands.
Yeah. He's just one of many up-and-coming heavyweights you fought. Do you believe you can put the first loss on his record?
Yeah, 100%. Like I say, I've trained that hard. I mean, I know people put me down and say, look at his record and stuff, but what they don't realise, who I've been in with.
Yeah.
You can't be experienced. I did lose the last fight, but like the two previous fights, I didn't get going to the last round.
Yeah.
I've 30 fights, I've been with kids at short notice, doing 8 and 10 rounds, and that's where my cardio lies, so that's half the problem. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You fought guys like Derek Chisora, Edmund Gerber, Jonathan Banks. The thing a lot of people want to know is, who's the best you fought? Like, what guy did you fight and think, yeah, he's something special?
Definitely Jonathan Banks. I mean, it did take me 3 days of notice.
Yeah.
And the reason I take these fights is because, to me, I don't lose faith. I always put up a fight as people see, but they don't know the other half where I've took them at short notice, like on YouTube. People look at it and think, what a waste of space.
Yeah.
But they don't realise I took it at 3 days, they've had a full camp, and that's where it is. But I mean, if you look at the video, he's that elusive on his feet, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
He put me down in the first round heavy, I got back up and carried on. And then if you watch it later on in the round, then he started to catching me shots. And that's where Manuel Shirley told us after the fight, he said, put it on him, that's what he did, he come forward. So, definitely for skill, elusiveness and footwork, it's got to be Banks.
Yeah, Jonathan Banks, he's in a pretty good position right now, isn't he? So, he's obviously mandatory challenger for the Klitschko brothers. Do you believe from fighting him he has the talent and ability to become heavyweight champion of the world?
change everything.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's going to. I don't think he will fight the Klitschko's because obviously he's training them. So I don't know where that lies there. That's a funny one, but they've got all the titles. But I don't know. They're that good. It's just basic boxing with the Klitschko's. A lot of people slag them off saying they're boring.
Yeah.
But it's just good technical boxing that works. They stick behind the jab. They throw straight rights. They don't throw many hooks because they've got long arms and they've got good footwork. People don't like that. Same as Mayweather. People slag him off, don't they?
Yeah.
So he's boring to watch. But if you watch him and you know boxing, it's beautiful to watch. He's just technically sound. You can't fault him.
Yeah. Another Vitaly Klitschko victim, Derek Chisora, a guy you've also fought twice. In the second fight, an 8-rounder, he actually bit you on the ear, and this was obviously before Chisora was turning into a big name in Britain, so there wasn't really much media coverage around that. Could you tell us exactly what happened and basically what you were thinking at the time?
Yeah, what it was, the first fight I'd noticed for was a 4-rounder game which on YouTube. I put him over a shot, the referee didn't give it, and I think it's in the last round he puts the nut on me.
Yeah.
He gives me like a flying headbutt, the ref doesn't see it, I don't know how because it's in front of him, Ian John Lewis, I'll say no more.
Yeah.
Second fight, I took it about 5 days notice, which I was happy about because I was fit, done the 8 rounds, I thought brilliant. Got in there, it took him bombs on him, a class tight defence, so they're bouncing off me anyway.
Yeah.
And I think the theory behind it, he couldn't stop me. He was frustrated, he couldn't stop me, and he bit me. People said, he's trying to be like Mike Tyson. The reason he didn't hurt me here, or take a chunk out of it, he still had his gum shielding.
Yeah.
But obviously you see me grimace in the slow-mo, and I can't believe what he's done. Actually, after the fight, that's boxing, but if it was the other way round, I said I would have got thrown out straight away.
Yeah.
And he just took it with a pinch of salt. He said, I took the piss. Went in the papers, didn't they?
Yeah.
And he just took the meat, really, so I dealt with him all the time.
Oh, sorry, that's my phone going. What are your thoughts on Del Boy as a fighter, and do you think he can make it big and maybe win a world title?
I don't know. He's got to lose the weight.
Yeah.
I think he boxed me under 17 stone. That's the way he's got to be. He's got to come down. He can. It's just whatever mood he's in. I think when he boxed Sam Sexton, that's the best I've ever seen him fight.
Yeah.
He looked wicked. And then obviously he lets himself down by slapping the Klitschko's, spitting water in the face, biting me, kicking off at the press conference where he got battered by it.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. It's like he's throwing away his own career just by doing these stupid little things. What idiots who watch boxing pick him up and call him a legend. He's not a legend. He's a fucking idiot.
Another guy.
Isn't
Yeah, he is. Another guy that's making some noise is another guy you fought, Lucas Browne. He's obviously known for being a very hard hitter. He actually stopped you in the 4th round, but does he hit as hard as people say?
Yeah, he does bang, but I was a bit of a mess that fight. I had no training for the fight as well. I trained myself for that fight.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I really felt like a journeyman. And a lot of people say, you've got a record of a journeyman. I haven't, because I train. I get up in the morning, I run. I train like a nutter. I've got my own gym as well.
Yeah.
And I was looking through my guard and I could see he was open for shots, left up, but I just couldn't throw him. He can bang, but he stopped me on a cut eye, knocked me clean out. He put me over.
Yeah.
That's 5 stitches in my eye. I actually hit the canvas. I got up and I went, right, you fucker, let's have it.
Yeah.
And the ref called it. It took me till then to walk up. That was bad calling him right at the time. Himself, I ain't making excuses.
Yeah.
He can bang, but he is beatable.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, because a lot of people say he is just a banger. When you was in there with him, does he have good boxing ability as well, or is it just he can punch hard?
He can punch hard. He was there for the left hook. I just couldn't, in my head, get to throw it.
Yeah.
It was just one of them. I mean, I've been hit by people. I mean, I've never been knocked out cold. The thing with me, you'll hit me hard, I'll get down, I'll get back up and I'll carry on. And that's what boxing's all about. That's why, I mean, changing the subject totally, I can't believe the kid that Ricky Burns are fighting pulled out that fight.
Yeah, exactly. Couldn't believe that either,
You're there to fight. He could have won that. He could have stood behind his jab or switched stance, or I just couldn't get my head around that. So, as a fighter, if you get it hard, you get back up. Unless you're knocked out cold, there's no excuse at all.
Yep. Do you follow a lot of boxing outside of your own fights? And if so, is there anyone in Britain right now at heavyweight who you can see making it to world level and maybe toppling a Klitschko brother?
Yeah, I mean, I love boxing. I love watching boxing. The only person
Yeah.
I mean, I've spied Tyson lots, but after that last performance, what the fuck are they telling him, or what's going through his head? What he should be doing is sticking to his boxing like the Klitschko's. Keep it long. He's a big lad.
Yeah.
Why take it in a shorter distance and start throwing hooks when you got big arms?
Exactly. Yeah.
With Cunningham, that's what I couldn't get my head around. Why don't you just keep it long, keep it basic? It'll batter everyone.
So,
He's the only kid at the minute, I think, who's coming through. There's people like Lewisham and that who can bang that are dangerous.
yeah.
But again, there's that cardio issue. I mean, a lot of the heavyweights, this is the problem, the cardio. I don't know how to train or what, but
Yeah. I think.
no names as well. There's a lot of boys on roids.
Yeah, I think a lot of them do, like guys like Fury, Price, etc. They do rely on their sides as well. That's why they're not always in tip-top condition. It's,
But the thing is, no matter how big you are, how muscly you are, you can't train your jaw.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know. It's weird on it.
You fight often, so you're always busy with boxing and everything. But what does Paul Butlin do outside of boxing in his free time? I've heard you might be thinking of doing a bit of MMA in the future.
No, I mean, I've got my own gym, Hard Knocks gym,
Yep.
where I do like fitness classes. We have kids like boxing, we have MMA, we have Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Thai boxing. We do the full thing. I mean, I do like training MMA. I love watching it, but I'll probably never fight it. I mean, I've got a martial arts background of about 15 years. I do enjoy it, but I'm getting too old for all that now.
Yeah.
I know heavyweights go on and stuff, but my love really is in boxing. I've struggled that many years, and I mean, trying to get sponsorship and do the hard way. I think I had 12 amateur fights, and that was it. I actually started boxing at 24, turned pro at 26. So to me, I've learned the game the hard way, and that's the way I want to stick to it. I do love it, and I love the fact that no one cares about the record.
Yeah.
All they care about is the people getting in that cage and having a row.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of boxers will slag it off, but unless you train it and do the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and everything else, you won't understand how good it is.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I know people say, oh, just go on the ground and have a wrestle, but they don't. You have to be such an intelligent fighter at all different aspects in the sport to do it. That's the thing. But this is the problem with boxing. If you've got an unbeaten record, the British public are looking and say he's shit. That's what draws me out.
Yeah.
So, like that lad on Twitter the other day.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
He's never been in the ring, so how does he know?
Yeah, I know.
How does he know the pressure to go with it? You know what I mean? It's like, it's been the same for years. When Prince Nazim lost, oh, he's useless. If anyone loses, oh, he's useless, he's shit.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That's the only problem with it.
For me, a fighter that comes back from a loss, I think, tends to end up a better fighter than a guy who's gone his whole career undefeated.
Yeah, that's it. You just got to work hard and keep trying.
Yeah, if you like, you look at guys like Cole Froch, the best fighter in Britain today, probably 2 losses on his record.
Yeah.
It's exactly.
But losses at a high level. That's the thing. You can't fault him.
Yeah.
And he's never ducked from fights either.
Yep.
You can't fault Carl Froch.
So you're 37 years old now, but you're still going strong as a boxer. How long do you plan to fight on for, and what are your plans after boxing, basically, like coaching, promoting, anything like that?
Well, I've already got my professional trainer's licence. I've just, with Carl Greaves and with now, we've just signed a lad called David Keatley, who's turning pro. He's like, well, a big lad,
Yeah.
switch hitter, strong. He was in 2 powers as well. Just come out there, I think he won his last 15 on the bounce as an amateur, and he's a talent. So I'll be training him alongside me fighting as well.
Yeah.
So after I've backed in boxing, probably the age of 40, I know when it's time, because I don't get beat up. My nose is straight as a die. I've got no cuts,
Yep.
apart from the Lucas Browne fight. So I don't get beat up in fights. If I start getting beat up, I know when to pack in.
Yeah.
This is the thing, you know when you got longevity or not, or you're getting beat up. But like I say, I didn't start boxing until I was 24, so I'm still learning. Where a lot of these kids, especially at high level, will start like 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
I know for a fact they get pissed off with it. They lose the love for boxing, and they just love the sport.
Yeah. So
So definitely after when I finish boxing, I'm gonna definitely train fighters. But I don't want a gym for a fighter, just 1 or 2.
yeah. So
I can't understand people like Gallagher, who's got all them lads. They are all good lads. How can he keep tabs on all of them?
yeah, exactly.
So that's any problem I have really.
What's the money like for the fights you're taking right now? Because Well, we only really hear about the big paydays for superstars at the world level. Do you feel you get enough pay for doing what you do?
You never get enough, do you? That's the thing. I mean, these little 4-rounders, it's all on ticket sales.
Yeah.
So that's why I phone Carl Greaves, and I can't fault him because I asked for the wins. And I have done like £3 worth of tickets each time, which I've not sold a ticket for years, which is good, but it don't pay enough. I go abroad, I get paid handsome, put it this way. I get paid well.
Yeah.
So that's the only difference.
So
You've got to think about
it. You take a lot of fights at short notice, obviously, like you said, about 4-rounders and 8-rounders, but do you feel that with more training and over longer distances, maybe 10 or 12 rounds, you could beat some of the guys you fought, like Chisora, Gerber, guys like that?
Well, let me say about Gerber. For him, I was working the door and I broke my hand a week before.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, no one knows. But what I did, I was working on the door, some lad kicked off me.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I didn't punch him, I pushed him. He pushed him at the door, and he bounced off the door, and he hit my hand, sort of come back on my fingers. And I went to the head doorman, and I said, oh, my fucking hand's killing. He goes, oh, you just hit your fingers. I went, all right. I went doctors, and he said, you met a carpet in your hand. I went, you joking, you have to plaster it. I said, I ain't plaster, I've got a big fight. He goes, no, you're not fighting. He goes, I am fighting. So I went out, I put the gloves on, and I got out there and I boxed with a broken hand. He perforated me eardrum, and the thing about round 4 as well, so I had to deal with it, but I did it. I did 8 rounds and I was happy. But and also, I had a fight with Paul Morris, I broke it in the first round as well.
What about Chisora? Do you think maybe he's a winnable fight for you if you did meet him maybe in the future over 10 or 12 rounds, if you was in, say you had 12?
Yeah, I mean I've got to beat these Cornish kids first. I've got to definitely beat him, but I've got a trainer now called Paul Butlin, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Spelled differently. And he's training me, and that's what I've needed. I've sort of trained myself for the last, I'd say, 3 years.
Yeah.
And I've done that. I've done the 8, I've done the 10 rounds. I think I've boxed Larry, who got banned for roids. I think I've boxed him 24 hours notice.
Yeah.
If I weren't fit, there's no way I could do that. This is the difference between me and a journeyman. People are going to argue I'm a journeyman, but I train my tits off. And I don't just take kids on debuts. I take European and world-class fighters.
Yeah.
Over the 8 to 10 round distance, so...
That's why when I was looking through your record, there's so many big names on there. Like, right from the beginning, right through to recently.
Yeah, I mean, the last fight I should have won. But like I say, that's why I changed up the rounds.
Yeah.
I actually phoned Carl Greaves. I said, listen, any fights come up in Europe, the kids are like 15 and 0 up. I said, we'll have it. And the difference is now I am being trained, so I'm hoping things can come for that.
Yeah. We'll finish with 2 questions from the same guy on Twitter, actually. He wants to know if you could make any fight in Britain right now at heavyweight, what would it be? And if you could fight any British heavyweight, say, this year, who would it be?
Right. Heavyweight-wise, fighting anyone, I don't care, that's the truth. They're just another person. You know what I mean? A fight's a fight.
Yeah.
You get in there, you try and win it. You don't go in there, lay down, you try and win it. You get put over, you get up. So, anyone in Britain, I really wouldn't mind. As long as the money's right and it's over 8 or 10 rounds, I'll fight them. That's not a problem.
Yep.
What was the first question, sorry?
If you could make any fight between 2 British heavyweights right now, what fight would it be?
It's the obvious one, isn't it? It's got to be Price and Fury.
Yep. Who would you pick to win that one?
Do you know what? I don't know. It's a funny one. If they both box like the last fight,
yeah,
it'd be a shit fight.
Yeah.
But Price, when he's on it, he's wicked. And again with Fury, when he's on it, he's wicked.
Yeah.
So it could be a brilliant boxing match, or it could be a war, or that's what you don't have. But down the last 2 fights, even though Fury won, he could have made that easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Boxing. Price, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He got caught with that, which I didn't think was a big shot. I know you get hit on the wherever he said in his ear and all that bollocks.
Yeah.
I've been on top of the head, and you do wobble a little bit, but you don't go over. So I don't know. It's a tough one, but that's the only fight at the minute. I mean, there's no one else up and coming. There's people like John McDermott.
Yeah.
He's been around for a long time, but I don't know. Obviously, hate, but he's world level and he's going up.
Yeah, he's already there.
Bigger fights. Yeah.
Alright then.
Chisora, don't flame a boat. I mean, I like to see Sam Sexton. He's doing it on the small shows now. I'd like to see Sam Sexton come through again.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's happening now. He's fighting again soon in Norwich, and then I mean, he should get offered a title eliminator or an English title or something at least.
Yeah, definitely. Any guys like Richard Towers, guys like that, what are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, well, obviously, I do like Towers, but again, he had a stamina issue at last fight, didn't he?
Yeah.
And that was a long time ago. Now he's fighting Lucas, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's fighting Lucas
In
Browne, I think.
Australia.
Yeah, July, I think that is.
If Towers puts it on him and he keeps it long, I mean, it's just basic boxing. Keeping it long, stay behind that jab and working him, staying up tall, because Lucas will try and bomb him. That's just Lucas Browne.
Yeah.
So if he's intelligent the way he fights, he could beat him. But that's up to Towers. I mean, if he gets in a war with him, you can guarantee Lucas Browne will probably bomb you out. But if he's intelligent, keeps it long, he could beat Lucas Browne.